Okay, here's just a shorter one for the holidays here. This was a ring that was found here last year by a metal detector, a guy just with a metal detector, and though they found a few like this, it's a pretty damn rare sight. What we're looking at here is a cameo. This thing is as big as any class ring you've ever seen, intricately inlaid and made. In fact, it has this portrait photograph picture frame cameo type situation that we used all the way up to 1900s till recently, in some nostalgic looks still have this endeared upon us. But how you make a cameo is by taking a two colored stone and then taking and cutting a sliver to where there's just a portion of it that still rests on top of it, which you see here in two extremely contrasted colors of black and then a periwinkle type blue gray color. Why is this for the holidays? Well, if you take a look at this, you might envision that it's a man on a chariot, but you'd also notice that he has this Phrygian type cap on it and looks a lot like Santa Claus. Even as small and intricately as it's carved, he has this Santa Claus's dress looking idea and the big coat that's on it, got that whip and everything going on. Now, it doesn't have the full on Donder Blitzen type thing, and I might do a whole video about its connective and who Donner and Earth's people were who are kept with this idea and what who Comet and what that signifies, and even the red nose of Rudolph, who I talked about 4 years ago now. But imagine that these things are horses in a time of horses. But if we were to just take a step back, there's a people that are connected with all of this culture that comes from this, that even at times used reindeer. Yes, very well tamed, what we call reindeer today. In fact, a lot of people say, well, the reason they call them reindeer is that they use reins upon them and stuff, and that they were domesticated types of deer, and use reindeer in this exact same pose. You see other gods that end up having goats in front of them and so on. And is this the time of Aries? Yeah, but it also signifies that they didn't quite have horses yet. And we've talked about that and a lot about horses recently. But man, if you were just to stick some cowlings on them with a little bit of stag type branches on it, here we go with something that looks very Saint Nick, huh? And we could say that he looks to be sliding on a sled, but he's sliding over a wheel. But that's really an ancient symbol for the sun, isn't it? And doesn't he have seemingly some type of bird or phoenix on his back shoulder? You can even almost make out its wings that are there, like the sun is taken by a winged chariot across the sky. But that could that also be his bag of gifts that go out every year? I don't want to go through this full article here, but it's a stunning Roman gold ring. It was unearthed in Britain, and they say it was about the 3rd century BC, and the area around Dorchester, through the Anglo-Saxons and connections they made through this. But see if we can get the other picture to show up here. Here it is. And so you can see on the side of it the filigree work, and then there's something that conspicuously looks like an apple or a heart, maybe more of an apple attached to a vine or a branch of this tree. But you can also see how thick this, even the facing part of it that holds the stone is, and the size in relation to this guy. In a minute we'll show him when he found it and the other guy taking a picture of him. But there's that picture frame. Found in a field again by a metal detector enthusiast, and here he is, the find of a lifetime. And here he is holding it out, and so you can see how huge it is. He has some pretty thick looking fingers, and a guy that does some rough work every now and then, but you can tell that thing's huge. But I bet it'll fit on his damn finger. I wonder if he put it on and tried it out. So again, it's 1.7 ounces. I don't know if they figured out what the value is of it and so on like that and been able to go to it. There's a video about it. I really didn't want to actually show you something like that, necessarily as to show you what's closer up on that and connections with the holidays. For here you got a guy pulling a sled on a whip with two horses, but it could have gone back. I mean, you can see that with the ancient iconography that's shown inside of Lord of the Rings, where this Ettergast ends up with rabbits. Oh, and there, see, rabbits are fast and zing, zing, zing. And so they put a trail of rabbits that's about the same amount as the trail that would have been of these ancient reindeer and pull it along. That's kind of like the amount of Clydesdale you pull in front of a Budweiser. What is that? What is that? Well, a lot of times it's 6, but they're 2 by 2, and that makes 12. And that goes with the seasons and the 12 days of Christmas and Saturnalia that goes with these Romans and everything that goes along with it. And I've done some other videos in the last few years around Christmas time showing how far back this connection goes and through the Sumerians. But I also talked about how apparently they had some good knowledge of it going on in the seasons of the year and this pinnacle from a long time ago. And there's some striking information showing ancient Cro-Magnons coming into this time from the Wayback Machine. In a few instances, people have already figured out, no, they had it going on. In fact, here's a cave painting with Taurus on it, da da da. There's Orion, here's the Pleiades. In fact, if you were able to make the wall transparent, that's what's in the sky multiple thousands of years ago. Anyhow, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Where is that lane? Well, it's exactly when the sun's coming right between these mountains and doing so, like the people on the horses and stuff went on their routes through the mountains, and there's paths, and the sun comes to this area exactly that time of year, and here it goes. We got everything lined up to it. Merry Christmas and happy holidays for all the connections of Yule, Saturnalia, Tammuz, Jesus, all of the above. Best of mine to you and yours this holiday season. Peace.